Why is it that the only people trying to hype up Anyone But You on Kaylani's internet are Glen Powell stans, Sydney Sweeney stans, and me, a person who is neither? Hi, I'm LadyJenevia, and on my channel I like to talk about entertainment media. If you are new here, I'm going to go ahead and recommend that you watch my video essay that I already posted about Anyone But You and the broader topic of modern literary adaptations on film. I published that back when there was still no major promotion for the run-up to the film's release, apart from the now infamous visit to CinemaCon. I went back and forth about whether or not to talk about the teaser trailer because, if I'm not mistaken, in order to respect the guidelines of the still ongoing SAG-AFTRA strike, I'm not supposed to do reactions to trailers, but criticism and analysis of entertainment fiction is still allowed. I think that's where we're at right now, which works out perfectly because I have both criticism and analysis to offer in response to that teaser trailer.
Okay, great gowns, beautiful gowns.
Anyone But You is now probably my most anticipated film of what's left of 2023. That's why, even though I have other video projects I would like to work on about anti-imperialist subtext in movies, I'm bumping those videos back to address this teaser trailer. I'm also annoyed that they're going ahead with the release of this film when we still don't know yet whether or not the SAG-AFTRA strike will be finished before the release. The original release date was December 15th, and Sony decided the most intelligent business decision would be to delay it by 1 week to December 22nd. It's not as if December is already jam-packed with a bunch of other new movies coming out.
Are you on drugs?
You are overpaid if this is your genius plan to set this film up for success. February is right there. This film could completely own Valentine's Day season, but no, you just have to keep it in December. Cool. Unless you are secretly blackmailing the AMPTP behind the scenes to completely roll over and give SAG-AFTRA literally everything they're asking for with zero complaints, then I don't want to hear your justification for going ahead and releasing your destination rom-com in December when you don't know if the actors will be available to promote it.
We'll give you half now, half later when it's done.
How did we get here? Why am I not being given a moment of peace to just be excited for a new rom-com being released in the cinema? First, I wasn't being allowed to just be excited peacefully because everybody decided that two actors playing up flirtatious banter to sell a rom-com required think pieces and podcast episodes and body language experts apparently, which no. Ugh. And after months of waiting for a trailer, in addition to the other waiting, of course, regarding corporations not paying their workers and seeing whether or not the movie would be pushed back from its initial release date, I'm again being deprived of my peaceful excitement because everyone decided now that Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney don't have chemistry. They had enough chemistry for all of you to declare they were
intimate? Is that how old people say sex?
Just a few months ago, but now, just because a marketing team doesn't know how to cut a teaser trailer together correctly for a rom-com, they apparently don't have chemistry, so which one is it? Do you enjoy being fickle for the sake of it, or would you like to make up your minds? And I'm not in any way claiming that this teaser trailer was good. It was not. And that's not me succumbing to the peer pressure of the internet. That's my genuine opinion of it.
I saw that going differently in my mind.
But that doesn't change the fact that I will still be there opening weekend, ready to giggle and kick my feet as if this film was a gift personally made for me specifically. I can very easily break down what's wrong with the teaser trailer, and just to really emphasize that this video is analysis and not a reaction, because over here we support SAG-AFTRA, we support unions, and we support workers above the evil megacorporations of the world. I'm going to give you the numbers. Yeah, we are going to do data analysis.
Reproduction.
I can boil the problems with the teaser trailer down to 2 or 3 things. The first problem, the song is wrong. You've got this sultry, slow song that sounds like a reject from a 50 Shades soundtrack. Maybe the rocket scientists they've got doing marketing for this film just thought, well, the 50 Shades films were successful and made money, so let's just do that because Anyone But You has an R rating. The 50 Shades films were not rom-coms. They were feature film adaptations of Twilight erotic fan fiction. They had a built-in audience on multiple layers. Twilight already had a massive fan base.
I don't know what it means to the Twilight franchise. I just don't know.
The original fan fiction had a bunch of readers, which was what snowballed it to the point of being published as books. The books were then purchased and read to enough of an extent that feature film adaptations were greenlit. The films did not need to be particularly good because you already had a built-in audience, and even if they were going to be bad, that just meant more people would want to make things to discuss how much they didn't like the films. It's called hate watching. Everything was working in those films' favor to ensure their success. Anyone But You is a modern literary adaptation on film, and the success or failure of those types of projects have never been dependent on the audience being knowledgeable of or invested in the source material. You think all the millennials who won't stop quoting and referencing 10 Things I Hate About You all have burning opinions about or investment in The Taming of the Shrew? Nope.
I'm down. I've got the 411, and you are not going out and getting jiggy with some boy. I don't care how dope his ride is.
The song's vibe in this trailer is so wrong, as is the tempo. You need to pick something with more beats per minute. Are you trying to put me to sleep or are you trying to wake me up? Because this song makes me feel like I'm about to take a power nap, and hopefully when I wake up, I will be able to watch a better teaser trailer than this. And you know what? We're going to do a comparison. Just a bit over a year ago, there was another Destination rom-com released in cinemas, and it ended up being one of my favorite films of 2022. Ticket to Paradise, starring my favorite divorced parents, George Clooney and Julia Roberts.
You learned that to make me look bad.
You don't need my help there.
Now that trailer I saw a fair bit, because every time I was at the cinema, which was every week of course, it was playing before more or less anything I was there to see, and I would enjoy myself every time because it was a good trailer. That trailer started off with one song, but then they would do the needle drop switch to a Dua Lipa song. It's the one that Tia Kofi won her lip sync to against Estina Mandela. That's still one of my favorite lip syncs. Everyone thought Estina was going to win, and then Tia turned it out, and history was made. Dua Lipa's song very clearly has more beats per minute than whatever was playing in this teaser trailer. People associate Dua Lipa's song with dancing and fun, and of course the historical victory of Tia Kofi. That is how you correctly choose a song to market a rom-com. Rom-coms are about vibes and banter. If you pick the wrong song, the vibes will not be where they are supposed to be. One little sidebar before I resume my other talking points. I am not saying that this song is bad. I'm saying that the song is the wrong choice for this teaser trailer. Music has always been integral to rom-coms. It's part of the love language. Rom-coms are especially prone to integrating diegetic music, and in particular, diegetic music that the characters themselves directly interact with.
Trust in me when I say.
Do we want everybody to know your love making is lit?
Oh, maybe because you named my penis. Yeah, you named.
I used only the good notes.
I should stop this point now because I can feel myself succumbing to this urge to expand this particular talking point into its own video essay, and I, as I've already stated, have more pressing anti-imperialist theses to elaborate on first in other video projects. So, we have vibes and we have banter. We've already established in my previous video essay that Glen, Powell, and Sydney Sweeney's characters are based on Benedict and Beatrice from William Shakespeare's Much Ado About Nothing, who spend most of the play bickering and roasting each other, and then they get bamboozled into declaring their love for one another. Because would it really be a rom-com without some sort of mischief, a plot, a scheme, some sneaking around? Now here's the other glaring issue with this teaser trailer. There's not enough dialogue. How are you supposed to explain to us, the rom-com audience, what the dynamic is, what the chemistry is, if you barely have them speaking? Banter can make or break a rom-com. You need to show me the flow.
Flow is flow.
I am so serious right now. The banter is everything in a rom-com. So this is where I did my data analysis. Why? Because I need to make it very clear that this is not a reaction and this is an analysis, because I respect SAG-AFTRA and they should strike for exactly as long as it takes for them to get the deal that they want. Now, before anyone tries to get upset over my nitpicking, well, this is just a teaser trailer. You can't compare it to a regular trailer. I can compare it, and I will compare it, because I'm the judge, jury, and executioner over here. The teaser trailer for Anyone But You is 1 minute long. That is 60 seconds. And the main trailer I was constantly seeing for Ticket to Paradise last year, I've trimmed from the YouTube upload runtime because they do a preview of the trailer at the beginning before the trailer actually plays. And then there's also a few seconds of black screen at the end where nothing is happening. So I counted the runtime as beginning at the 6-second mark and ending at 2:42, and that comes to a total of 155 seconds. I counted the words in both trailers, specifically the words spoken by characters. Song lyrics do not count to the word count total. Initially, I didn't know whether or not to count the sound that Glen Powell makes when Sweeney hit him in the Netherlands. But when rewatching the Ticket to Paradise trailer, there's actually a point where George Clooney gets hit in the crotch by a dolphin, so I decided that in both cases, that would count as a word. Fair is fair, fellas. You both get 1 grunt to your total word count. In the Anyone But You teaser trailer, I counted 45 words. Divide that by the runtime of 60 seconds, and you get an average of 0.75 words per second. That is less than 1 word per second to promote a rom-com. Sony Pictures, I am inside your walls, scratching, so that you think your office is haunted. With the Ticket to Paradise trailer, I struggled to count with confidence that the final total was accurate, because I was doing all of this in the middle of the night when I was outlining, and I didn't have the patience to do multiple recounts since this is a YouTube video, not my dissertation, but feel free to peer review it if you're bored. So the final number that I landed on for the Ticket to Paradise trailer was 500 words. Yeah. Now you know why my eye was twitching while I was working on this. Divide 500 words by the 155 seconds of runtime and you get an average of 3.23 words per second, because we are rounding that decimal to the nearest hundredth so that it is the same for both figures. That means the Ticket to Paradise trailer was averaging over 4 times as many words per second, and when you watch the two back to back, you can really feel that. The Ticket to Paradise trailer beat the word count of the Anyone But You teaser trailer in just the first 15 seconds.
I'm sorry, I think your things are in my seat. Sorry. Oh, come on.
You gotta be kidding me.
Excuse me, ma'am, I need to sit somewhere else. We used to be married.
Worst 19 years of my life.
We were only married for 5.
I'm counting the recovery.
That was the scene snippet they played before they even showed the Universal Pictures studio card. Are you embarrassed yet? You should be. Why were you assigned to market a rom-com when you clearly don't understand the genre? Why are you not doing everything in your power to set this film up for success when you don't even know yet whether or not your actors will be available to promote this thing? The bad song choice and the lack of dialogue are 2 of the most glaring issues with the teaser trailer, and I'm by no means the only person that has pointed these things out on a public internet forum. I've seen it on Twitter, I've seen it in YouTube comments, and presumably it's somewhere on Reddit. I'm also going to throw in a bonus reason why this teaser trailer is wrong. Out of the few words being spoken, none of them were from Dermot Mulroney. That man is rom-com royalty, and you had better show him some respect for that. And mind you, I'm an anti-monarchist. I'm only referring to him as rom-com royalty because I love a good alliteration. I am here to see corny Caucasians be cantankerous in each other's presence, and you are marketing this about as accurately as the Jennifer's Body team did.
By the way, in case you're an idiot and need it spelled out for you, We fucking suck so far.
Now, despite my long-winded gripes with this teaser trailer, as I've already made clear, I will be there opening weekend for Anyone But You. It's, like I said, one of my most anticipated films of the remainder of 2023, because it probably would have been Napoleon because I love Ridley Scott, but one of my favorite films of 2023 is Chevalier, and I read that Napoleon tried to erase Chevalier from history, so now I want a time machine so that I can go back and deck Napoleon for that. It's what he deserves. Anyway, Anyone But You, just because the teaser trailer is not giving what needs to be given, it does not mean that we've lost. All of this can be fixed. Whenever you have a full trailer, you have more runtime to fill with dialogue, hopefully, give me that delicious banter to chew on, and pick a better song with more beats per minute. People love rom-coms because they're fun. The audience is hungry for the revival of the fun, mischievous spirit of late 90s, early 2000s rom-coms. The girls and their boyfriends were out in full force when I went to see No Hard Feelings for, I think it was the second time. It was a Saturday night, if I'm not mistaken. And the guys in the audience were laughing. They might have thought that their girlfriends were dragging them to something that they didn't want to see. But oh no, rom-coms are for everyone. They are for people who want to have fun, and fun has no gender. The Ticket to Paradise trailer that I've repeatedly referenced, that trailer gave away the entire plot of the movie. And guess what? None of us cared, because we are not showing up for you to reinvent the storytelling of that genre. We are here for fun times, banter, and chemistry. And you for damn sure are not going to convince your audience that your leads have chemistry if you barely have them talking to each other and you keep cutting away to a bunch of different things and playing a loud song. We need uninterrupted dialogue, and let me see them glaring at each other. Let me see them fight. I want them to roast each other. I need to know who has the best punchline.
You're not as mean as you think you are, you know that?
You're not as badass as you think you are.
Now, if any of you are feeling like I'm doing too much, that I shouldn't care about the success of a film when I haven't even seen it yet, and I don't know if it's good enough to go down in my personal Hall of Fame of rom-coms, I have a response for that. I don't actually need this film to become one of my all-time favorite rom-coms in order for me to still want it to be successful. The bigger picture here is that I want more rom-coms in the cinema. I was trying to do a big rom-com video, and I was watching a bunch of newer rom-coms that are released direct to streaming, and although maybe a couple of them are all right, the overwhelming response I have to being bombarded with so many of them in close succession is that I will eat drywall if I have to be subjected to more of these cheap, ugly direct-to-streaming rom-coms. Where is the budget? Where is the production value? While I was working on this project, I rewatched a rom-com I don't want to name right now because one of the lead actors in it gives me the ick, but it was from the early 2000s, and I thought that I wasn't going to like it because one of the lead actors gives me the ick. But instead, I found myself really taken aback by how much fun I was having watching it and how the movie was actually good in a lot of ways, and it was gorgeous to look at. And part of that admittedly was because I could see the film grain, but it just really felt romantic and cinematic in a way that these new direct-to-streaming rom-coms do not. I looked up the production budget of that rom-com. I converted it to 2023 in order to adjust for inflation. If you put that film's budget in 2023 terms, it cost over $100 million to make. Imagine if somebody today cast two big movie stars for a rom-com and gave the project $100 million. Imagine how the sets, the lighting, the locations, the costumes, the score, the licensed songs for the soundtrack, how hard all of that would hit. The truth of the matter is that whether or not Anyone But You ends up being amazing, or if it ends up being mediocre, monetary success is the only thing that these higher-ups will understand as a reason to greenlight more rom-coms for cinematic release. The people with all the power and the money, they do not have the capabilities to have a nuanced conversation about art and storytelling. They only want to know if things make money. So, as someone who wants more rom-coms in the cinema so I never have to look at ugly green screen work again in my rom-coms.
Back the fuck up! Okay, get away from me, all of you!
I will be there. Opening weekend of December 22nd. Glen Powell stands, Sydney Sweeney stands. If you've made it this far, thank you for watching. I'm just assuming that you are the ones that have watched this. We will be seeing each other in a month and a half from now during opening weekend. I'm sure you'll all be there, and I will also be there.
Lord have mercy.
Hollywood higher-ups, pay your actors, pay your workers. But I'm specifically reminding you right now to pay actors because they're on strike right now. Whomever goes on strike next, I will also nag you to pay them too. Also, if you're really foolish enough to think that you can sell Anyone But You without Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney, you need to be demoted from your current position. I vividly remember that when George Clooney and Julia Roberts were doing promotion for Ticket to Paradise, people would take clips from their interviews and they would post them on Twitter and they would all blow up because people were hyped at the prospect of seeing people have banter and just be delighted in the presence with one another. And mind you, these two are married to other people. They've been platonic friends for decades at this point. You do not need to be dating or married or engaged in the carnal throes of passion to effectively sell a rom-com.
Yeah, it's called flirting, you idiot.
And I know with zero doubt in my cranium that Glen Powell and Sydney Sweeney would be able to sell this movie if the AMPTP wasn't being the worst, because the whole reason the media firestorm started last time is because they do have chemistry. They posted a 3-second clip doing a corny Caucasian dip and everyone lost it. Oh my God. The audience is so figuratively touch-starved that they have no idea how to conduct themselves when they see two actors having chemistry or faking chemistry to sell a movie, whatever you believe that it is. That's why a whole bunch of you turned into sharks smelling blood in the water when they did their first promo during CinemaCon, and that's why anytime someone posts a Canthony clip from Bridgerton Season 2 on Twitter, it blows up and has millions of views. The people are hungry, and we want to be fed romance, and we want to be fed fun. And if I have to pester everyone I know personally into going and seeing Anyone But You while it's in cinemas so that I can get more modern literary adaptation rom-coms back in the cinema, so be it. If any of you watching this video know Dermot Mulroney personally, please let me interview him when the SAG-AFTRA strike is over. That man needs to receive a hefty check every time someone streams The Wedding Date on a streaming platform. I said what I said. See you in the next video. Bye.